is my colleague. Thank you so much. Um, so we're going to have this webinar, but first of all, I would like to share a little bit about the webinar. So this webinar basically is to share about climate justice and ecological projects from our members, but also CCIVS projects. And we have a special guest for today. It's Miss Anthea Herling. She is a representative from UNV, South Africa, and she's going to present about the International Year of Volunteering 2026 and how we can engage more in this International Year of Volunteering. And after that, we are going to have also sessions about the Living Earth campaign as a collaboration work between CCIVS Alliance and also Liga Viente and our members in IVS network. And we are also going to share with you a very useful, very interesting information about our members' projects that are aligned with our topic today. So, without further ado, I think I would like to welcome Miss Anthea Herling. Thank you so much for joining us today and share your time. I know that you're very busy and have this tight schedule. So, do you want to share your screen for the presentation, or you'd like us to share the screen?
You can share the screen for the presentation. It's 100% correct. Good afternoon, each and everyone again.
Thank you so much.
I just want to put a disclaimer after the presentation. I'm going to leave, unfortunately. So please also accept my apology for leaving midway in the program. So thank you. Let me first start by thanking each and everyone for joining. Good afternoon, colleagues, partners, and change makers. So it is really an honor for me to be part of this webinar today as we reflect on Earth Day as well as the climate justice. So globally, communities are already experiencing the impact of climate change. You can see my lip is also having a climate change moment. And we see more an incline or an increase of floods, droughts, as well as environmental degradation. So within these challenges, we are also seeing something powerful. We also realize that more and more people are driven by this, and they take collective action through volunteerism. So globally, we are also trying to restore the ecosystem, supporting communities, the most vulnerable sometimes, or most of the times, and driving climate action from the ground up. So as we reflect on this, we must also recognize that climate change does not affect everyone equally. I think it was already maybe alluded to, or it will also be alluded to later on in the during the webinar. Unfortunately, like I said, I have to leave. So climate justice or climate injustice really just means that those who are affected really need our support more and more. So this brings us also to this global and more important moment of International Volunteer Year. So this year, in IV, as it is known in UNV, we don't only recognize the efforts of the volunteers, but we also try to amplify and scale their voices and accelerate them as they prepare to support on this climate injustice. So just to reflect, I have prepared a very, very short presentation depicted on the screen already. If you can just go one slide back, please. Yeah. So just a very, very short presentation just to show you the reality. So like I said, climate change is accelerating. More and more people are affected by floods, droughts, and heat waves. And this is just a graph to show you from 2020 up until now how it has been affecting us. IPCC is estimating that over 3.3 billion people are already highly vulnerable and affected by this climate change. Next slide, please. So where is the power, or what is the power of volunteers? As we can see, more than 1 billion people, they are already globally volunteering, where they try and deliver local solutions to systems that is already stretched. They really try to support and adapt climate change as well as climate resilience. Communities are trying to strengthen social cohesion by supporting and volunteering their time to support this thing called global injustice, climate injustice. Next slide, please. So as we celebrate Ivy this year, We see IVY as a global call to action for volunteerism. We also want to recognize or use IVY to recognize and celebrate the impact of volunteers, not only in the countries that we cover, but also globally. We also try to scale so that climate action through people for climate action, so that it doesn't only get to a certain group of people, but that it gets to a number of to everyone, especially those left behind. We also try to amplify, or we want to use IV to amplify grassroots roots voices globally so that they can also join into the conversation of supporting the call to action for climate injustice. Next slide, please. So this is my final slide. This is just me calling you everyone to action. Can we please continue to collaborate? Can we continue to support and share our work experiences? And can we continue just to amplify the impact of not only climate injustice in, like I said, in a select country or countries, but on a global scale? And can we just remain and all just be part, actively part of IB 2026? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Antea. It's very useful information, so we can engage more in this IV. We call it IV, right? The
Yes,
International Year Volunteer 2026. So
yes.
I would like also to invite all of you guys to collaborate with us in this International Year Volunteers. And probably my colleague will also share the link to the IV 2026, so you can check it after this webinar. And thank you very much for your time. You may stay here if you still have time, but I know we know that you have another schedule, so thank you very much. And then for the next session, I would like to welcome my colleagues from Alliance and Legambiente. So my colleague Elena, Madalena, and Giada will present a launch of the Living Earth campaign and the IV 2026. So please.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Today I would like to introduce you the campaign Volunteering Resilience for Climate Justice, which is a joint initiative by CCIVS and Alliance of European Voluntary Service, created in the framework of the International Year of Volunteers for Sustainable Development 2026. So this is a special campaign because it represents a shared step forward for the IVS movement. You can go to the next slide. So what is this campaign about? As its core, it aims to make visible something that is already happening in the volunteering field. So how volunteering contributes to climate resilience, to protect biodiversity, and supports community well-being. All of this is done through concrete actions, and with this campaign but this campaign is special also because how it is built, let's say. So you can go to the next slide. So this time CCIVS and Alliance, which are two different networks, decided to create a big and more impactful campaign. So to give let's say a stronger to have a stronger voice altogether. We decide to do it this year because before we said this year is a special year. It's the International Volunteer Year, so a global moment where volunteering will be in the spotlight. And if we want to be visible and credible and more impactful, we need to speak louder with one single campaign. So with this campaign, it is connecting CCIVS global vision with the Alliance, which is focused this year on climate justice, and create a stronger narrative. You can go to the next slide. This is the the shared post for the social media. You can feel free to share it if you want. Next slide. So visibility alone is not enough, so there is a risk that attention can remain symbolic without bringing to a real change. So the goal of this campaign are three main goals. We want to involve members and young people through mobilization, and this campaign is structured in a simple and accessible way. The second goal is visibility, so we aim to build a shared narrative that can be used across countries and different contexts and different organizations. And the third goal is policy impact, so we want to ensure that what happens at the local level can also influence decision makers and contribute to better policies. So you can go to the next slide. So there are some key moments and ideas behind this campaign. One is that recognition of volunteering is a right, so it is essential for inclusion and for long-term engagement. Another is that volunteering needs the right conditions to exist, so it has to be safe, ethical, and meaningful. And finally, that communities are not just the beneficiaries, but they are the main actors. So we focus on a community-led approach, which lead to a sustainable and accountable process. You can go to the next slide. So the timeline of this campaign is very simple and clear. We started today with the launch of the campaign with this webinar, and today, because today is the Heart Day, and then from May to December there will be many regular highlights to keep the campaign alive, and then it will conclude around in December in occasion of the International Volunteer Day. So you can go to the next slide. So like we said before, the participation is designed to be simple. So members are invited to share one story during the year, and they can also join the campaign moments, like for example webinars like today or local actions. And they can also join they can also the idea is to make participation accessible for everyone and simple, is building a strong collective result. One of them, you can go to the next slide. One of the most important aspects of the campaign, we said, is policy dimension. So the stories we collect are not only for communication, but they have to evidence and to show a concrete change. So in the autumn period, these stories will be used to advocate for better conditions for volunteering, including recognition, protection, and investment. And so what is starting in a local level will become part of a global message. Within this campaign, there are also some key moments which are more concrete and physical. One of these will take place in Italy in occasion of the Youth Climate Meeting, which is an event that is organizing Legambiente. And now I will pass the floor to my colleague from Legambiente, who will tell you more about this event and how you can join it. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, the CCIVS and Elena, for this for organizing this webinar and everything. Yeah, the Youth Climate Meeting, it has been identified as like the official meeting for the joint campaign CCIVS Alliance, because it is actually a meeting that we're doing since 8 years, and this year it will be the first time it will be international. So just to give you a very fast background, please next slide. A very fast background of what the Youth Climate Meeting is. It was born 8 years ago out of the necessity of Legambiente to expand its network and to this network of activists and young people, which are, of course, the most engaged, the most engaged ones in climate justice issues, and also the ones that will leave the worst consequences of climate change and climate injustices, of course. The participants in the Youth Climate Meeting will have the opportunity, of course, to meet, to exchange ideas, to deepen their knowledge about climate justice, talking about different topics. So, and everything using non-formal education techniques and in an horizontal and active participation. So next slide, please. We will the first Youth Climate Meeting actually was in Legambiente National's headquarters in Rome. It started with just 50 people, and now we reached up to 350 young people participating to the Youth Climate Meeting, everyone under 35 years old, apart from some of the expertise and some guests that we invite to help us go deeper in the topic that we will discuss. So I will go super fast, so you can just maybe skip to the last slide of yeah, so these are some of the photos. I guess that this presentation will be then sent to you after the webinar, so you can spot some photos of the past editions and of the actions that we did in Beach. It is actually an amazing place in the south of Italy, and very accessible for young people. This year is the first year that we're doing it international, so we don't have just the Italian workshop, but also English ones. In collaboration with the Climate Action Network, United for Climate Justice, 350.com, and Extinction Rebellion, Last Generation, Greenpeace, WWF. I mean, there will be a lot of international networks, national and international networks participating. Also, the Alliance will be there, of course. It will be a very a useful moment and an interesting moment, both to train ourselves and empower ourselves on what is climate justice, what it means energy transition, eco-transfeminism. We will talk also about animal rights. It is a completely vegan event, of course. You are actually more than welcome to participate. The registration are still open until 10th of May. If you're interested in participating, please feel free to, there will be a form in the next slide maybe. You can scan the QR code, the first one for more infos about the event, and the second one is to register in the event. We're almost reaching our maximum capacity of 350 people, so if you're interested to come, feel free to contact me. I will leave my contact in the group chat here to ask for more information about it. And yeah, I hope to see you there. We also have fun actually in the night. We're not just talking about climate justice and like very difficult topics on how the world is not listening to young people and to us, and how the world is going maybe in the wrong direction. We will also have some parties at night, and we will also have the time to empower ourselves and to organize also like environmental mobilization to World COP 31, etc. But I don't want to spoiler anything more than this. Thank you so much. I will pass back the word to CCIVS.
Thank you very much, Madalena, Elena, and Giada for sharing this very interesting opportunity. So for you who are interested in joining this youth climate meeting, please register as soon as possible, because the quota will be like reach the capacity, like the maximum capacity. So please look at the chat box, because my colleagues also have shared more information about it. And for the next session, it's going to be ice-breaking session. I would like support from my colleague to share the Mentimeter. So yes, for your information, I think that I missed to mention that my name is Hani Nolina. I am the Youth Action Officer of CCIVS, and I'm really excited to welcome also my colleague from the Youth Committee. After this session, I think, yes, after this session, there will be this session about another project that you can also involved in this project. So yes, is it ready? The Mentimeter? Can you please share the screen? I see that my colleague already shared the link in the chat box. So here we go. I think that we need to go to the first slide first. Yes, please give me thumbs up or love or anything just to know that you are already in the Mentimeter. Thank you so much. Is it possible to share the screen for the first slide? The first slide should be a world map. So we'd like to know about where you are connecting from.
That's the first slide I have, honey.
Oh, okay. Okay, anyways, yes, it's okay. Can you please share the
I can
screen?
share the QR code also, maybe.
Sure.
It's better.
Huli, is it possible to share the result of the Mentimeter, please? Okay, thank you. So actually, there are only 3 questions in the Mentimeter. The first slide should be about the world map, where you are connecting from. And then the second one, it's very interesting. It's about the meaning of volunteering. Just share one word. Maybe you can also share in the chat box if it's too challenging for you to log into the Mentimeter. You can also share with us in the chat box what does volunteering means to you in just one word. And I will also read it one by one in the chat box. And then, yes, that one. Thank you so much. Okay, it's appearing. All right. Okay, it's interesting. We're almost in all continents, right? In Asia, in Africa, in America, in Europe. Okay, that's awesome. 27 responded. We can move to the next slide, please. Yes, this one, just one word. What does volunteering mean to you? Change, decolonization, way of life, selfless. Connection. Yes, it is connection. United, sharing. Okay. I think that we are here with a lot of like-minded people. So I'm great. I'm feeling great to see all of these responses from you. Dedication, that's a good one. Belonging, contribution. Thank you very much. Oh, so the most written one is sharing. Sharing because we are caring. Patient, action. Okay. Willing. Thank you very much. All right. We can move to, oh, solidarity. This one is also a good one. Solidarity.
I'm from Morocco.
Hi. Thank you so much for joining.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Okay. So, yes, we can move to the next slide, please. If Earth could send us a message today on this Earth Day, what would it say? You need to be kind to me. Okay. That hits so hard. When you hurt me, you hurt yourself. I care. Stop it. Do I have a fever? Okay, that's the funny one. Stop the distractions. Oh, this is so good. I've carried you for centuries through your growth, your dreams, your discoveries. I have given you forests to breathe, rivers to drink, soil to grow, and skies to wander under. Take it slow. You made a lot of mistakes. That sounds like you're talking to your ex. I'm sorry, this is just very interesting. I am dying. You need to care about me more. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Okay, stop capitalism. You don't deserve me. Oh, that's so hurting. All right, that's very interesting. Can you please scroll a little bit? This is the last question from this Mentimeter. Earth in motion. Okay, thank you very much for joining this icebreaking session. I will welcome the next speaker, my colleague Raksha. Raksha is a part of the CCIVS Youth Committee. Thank you, Huleta, for sharing the screen. So, yes, Raksha is a part of the CCIVS Youth Committee. She will present about the TATE toolkit. TATE is the project, but more information she will share more in the presentation. But Raksha actually is not alone in this project. There are also other people from the youth committee, but also from the young ambassadors from Welsh. I'm sure that Yolai must be here also with us. And also there are others like Ian, Daniel, and then Piero, who are behind this project. So please, Raksha.
Am I audible? All right.
Yes,
Okay,
perfect.
for
Thanks.
an opportunity to present the project. Hello, everyone. My name is Raksha, and I'm from India. Like Hani said, I'm a member of the CCIVS Youth Committee nominated by FSL India, and I'm here to present about the TATE project, Pathways to Climate and Peace Action. Next slide, please. This is a project that is in collaboration with mainly three organizations or groups. First of all is the WCIA, previously known as WCIA, but currently as CYMRU, CYMRU, which is a Welsh word for Wales, CYMRU Global. That is also a member organization of CCIVS that is based in Cardiff, Wales, in the UK. And this organization has been working since 1973 to promote global citizenship and peace through education, climate movement, and international volunteering. We also have the Youth Climate Ambassadors for Wales, YCA, which is a youth-led group of Welsh activists aged between 13 to 25 who aim to amplify youth voices. My colleague Yolai is also part of the YCA as well as the youth committee member for this mandate. And then we have the CCIVS Youth Committee. Particularly speaking, we have Ian from Zimbabwe representing the Zimbabwe Work Camp Association. We have Piero from Peru representing DVBC. We have Zwake from South Africa, who was our ex youth committee member from South Africa representing Savwa. We have Danielle, also our ex youth committee member, and then we have myself from India representing FSL India. Next slide, please. Before I actually jump into the presentation, I would like to start with a simple reflection or a question. When I say climate change, What does it feel like, especially when you are a young person? Well, for me, and maybe also a lot of young people out there, it just doesn't feel like a simple crisis. It feels like anxiety or uncertainty, or sometimes even like shouting and not being heard. Maybe that's how the earth also feels like. But instead of making assumptions and deciding that maybe everyone feels the same, we decided to ask the youngsters, the young people out there, through a survey, what they think. And we found out in Wales, 79% of young people say they are concerned about climate change. But honestly, I think, come on, honestly, we all know that it's just not about Wales. We have seen this everywhere. We have seen this across countries. We have seen this across communities. We know for a fact that everyone cares, especially the young people. We care deeply about it, and yet it's a known fact. Most of the time, they are only given awareness. Like young people, they are only given awareness and very less to almost no action. They don't have opportunity to take action because they don't have power. They don't have direction, and it's just that we tell the young people this is the problem, but we don't always tell them this is what you can do next, or we don't give them opportunities to do things that they can do uh, for this situation or the crisis. And over time, this kind of gap between knowing and doing becomes frustration. It becomes helplessness. It causes helplessness. So, to counter this, we ask them directly what matters to you, what matters to young people, to us, as being a young person myself. And we didn't receive like simple answers. Next slide, please. We spoke about clean energy and reducing emissions. We spoke about protecting land, water, and biodiversity, reducing waste and plastics, climate justice and fairness, and just being heard. Next slide, please. Uh, we, we as young people, we already see the system. We understand that it is very complex. It's not about, the problem here is not about awareness, but it's about the barriers. Barriers like lack of resources, lack of money, uh, not having time due to personal life, school or work, and uh, due to the systems like government and laws that are blocking our actions. There are spaces where adults just don't listen to young people because they're like, you are young, what do you even know, right? So, and there are also, it is noticed in the survey that a lot of people, young people think that they don't have enough access to skills or knowledge. But I would like to say that we haven't given up. The young people have not given up yet. Next slide, please. In the survey, we asked them what keeps them going. And next slide, please. And they said their friends, their peers, the learning opportunities through the education or training, and the hope for future is what keeps them going. And this is where something important clicked for us, for the people who are working on this project. We noticed that young people don't need more motivation; they need pathways. The pathways that are clear, supported, and inclusive. But right now, we can see that there is like we can notice that the pathways are slightly broken. Climate and peace, they are seen separately, like they're often treated separately. Resources, next slide, please. Resources do not reach everyone equally, and learning, skills, and action, they exist, but there is a sense of a disconnected feeling in them. Next slide, please. So we asked ourselves, what if we could connect all of this together? What if we could create something that doesn't just inform people, but also guides them to take action? And that's how Pathway to Climate and Peace Action began. It is a collaboration between the CCIVS Youth Committee, the Samri Global, previously known as WCIA, Wells Center for International Affairs, and the Youth Climate Ambassadors for Wales, where we designed a toolkit that is tested via multiple workshops over multiple phases. But next slide, please. Well, I don't think this is a toolkit that is designed for the youth, but with them. It focuses on these kind of things. It focuses on the knowledge, it focuses on skills, action, inclusion, and accessibility. We are just not designing this in theory. Next slide, please. We are co-creating. We are testing it in different countries. We are co-creating it with young people and then sharing it globally. And this is why I'm here to present the project. We have something called a survey prepared for you guys that is practical, that is real, and something that really works. We as youth committee members, we as the YCA, we have also put our voices in the survey to show what we care for, to make our voices heard. So my request is to the people out here to also take some time to fill the survey that will be shared at the end of this presentation and get this opportunity to make your voice heard. Because climate and peace are not isolated issues. They are lived differently, but they are deeply connected everywhere. And through this project, what you can gain is that you can share your realities. Once we have the survey responses, we analyze them. And through that, we try to create a toolkit which you can test and where you can contribute your stories to, and then bring it into your own community. And let us know how it went. And if you have any more suggestions to give, we are always like open to them. Because like next slide. Yeah, because imagine a young person, who doesn't feel anxious but feels capable. And maybe that's the pathway that we have been always missing all along. So my the call to action for this particular project right now is kindly fill the survey and let us make your voice heard. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Raksha. And thank you, Giada, for sharing the survey link with us. So please help us to build the toolkit by filling out the survey that's already there in the chat box. You can also click it. And if you have any more questions, please do not hesitate to contact us later. We will actually put the information about our contacts in the chat box so that you can reach out to us after this. And I think before we move to the next station, we actually almost forgot to take picture. So I am inviting all of you to take picture together, a group picture, just very quick. If you don't mind to open your camera and show your beautiful face, your handsome face, please give a smile on this Earth Day. Then we really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yes, I see one by one open the camera, and I will have my colleagues to take the screenshots. And just for your consent that we are going to use this group photo for communication purposes. So yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
everybody
Oh,
hold it for like 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you.
that's it? Is there any
Yeah.
another slide? Okay, that's all.
It's
Okay, thank you very much. Yes,
really
you can close the camera back. Okay, thank you. And then I have another colleague who is going to present about another project. It's Voices for Change. So I'm inviting my colleague Enoch or Dorcas or both. So yeah. Okay, Enoch. Thank you so much, Enoch.
I think Tokas will start and then I'll take over from there. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, and hello, everyone, once again. My name is Dorcas from South Africa Volunteer Week Camp Association. So I'm going to present Voices for Change with Enoch. So yeah, so basically, Voices for Change is a project coordinated by CCIVS focusing on music, volunteering, storytelling, and advocacy to promote environmental justice, social inclusion, and decolonial approaches to global development. So this project basically connects grassroots community actions with policy and dialogues at international level. So the project includes was done by like 9 countries like Estonia, Czech, Palestine, Tech, Kenya, South Africa, Italy, Ecuador, and India. So this project like basically demonstrates how volunteering, youth leadership, and culture can help to respond to global issues like inequality, climate change, exclusion, and also like how volunteering can build solidarity across the continent. So yeah, I'll leave this to Enoch and also to share more about the stages, how the project um, transforms through all the stages. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dorcas. Like she said, much of the projects as such, but I would just talk about where we're coming from, the approach that we had as members. So it's like as a hands-on approach on action that different organizations were going to implement from their own countries and then come up all together where we bring up the voice of the young people, especially in the global south, in the north, everywhere in the world as such. So we started off with actually a different part when we had the Global Reflection meeting, which happened in Paris last year, where we were charting the future of international voluntary services through a decolonial dialogue, because we are looking at the history of where we're coming of as international voluntary services movements, mapping the movements, the journey from the past, where we're coming from the war of reconstruction in the 1920s to its current engagement, with a decolonized approach, climate justice, and digital challenges as such. So actually from there, we took it over to an impact measurement training where we had the element of the most significant change approach, where stories were actually brought up from different organizations to talk about what collection of and selection of stories of change emerging from local communities. So we actually had also some local actions where a lot of the organizations took part in different local actions during their communities. For example, in South Africa, we had several activities like the camp where we had young people with a camp in Atteridgeville. We had a 2 days event where almost 100 and something young people came together to voice their concern as such. So also from different parts of the countries in Italy, as you can see, there was the local actions in Nepal, Naples with one of the partner organization, where they did some local actions in their country. Also following up, we had also the journey where we met people, the young people like Raksha, who met up also in Kenya to as an earth activist to actually come up with a song that will be presented just before I leave, uh, where their voice was captured, and it's a nice song. I would actually encourage everybody to go to YouTube and download and share the music also. It's a very important thing. In a snapshot, those are the pictures, some of the actions that we had from last year. And we also had the global symposium, Voices of Change symposium that happened in South Africa, where we talked about social justice as such, because we envision some of those actions as a global community as such. In the coming up of the next month until September, we're gonna be collecting advocacy stories and actions because there's a volunteer voice that we want to come up in the world to actually envision as such. So it's all about dialogue, getting to know each other, and hearing what the young people have got to say. So I think we can share the song for the next 2 minutes, maybe in a clip. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Enoch and Dorcas. I'm going to share it here on the chat box. Julieta, are you going to share the music? Yeah, thank you.
Nature cry, can you hear nature cry? Can you hear nature cry? Can you hear nature cry?
I'm gliding underwater, looking at the boats. They remind me of a time when our shores was not a plastic coat. I wonder if the animals that walk on 2 feet know that deep down we have the same heartbeat.
Deep down, deep down, deep down, we have the same heartbeat. Sing for the earth. Hope is my ally. Stand with your people. Active and alive. Start from yourself. Hope is my ally. Let's make it sing. Active and alive. Our voices are traveling together, above the clouds, through the trees, under the ocean, past on the glaciers. Voices are traveling together. Ngozi sikelele Africa, Ngozi sikelele Australia, Ngozi sikelele Asia, Ngozi sikelele, Ngozi sikelele, Ngozi sikelele America, Ngozi sikelele Europa, Ngozi sikelele Africa. Ubuntu, Ubuntu, Ubuntu. I am 'cause we are. Sing for the earth. Hope is my ally. Stand with your people. Active and alive. Start from yourself. Hope is my ally. Let's make it sing. Active and alive.
Bajan del norte con logos y promesas, llenan las aguas de mercurio y tristeza. Compran gobiernos, compran la ley. El bosque se quema y tú pensando que está ok.
The story they told us was never ours. Why poison the rivers and sell us the kiwa for profit of wreckage that we endure. Hectares in power, them are burning the land. Stop burning land, stop burning future. Stop burning land, stop burning future.
Echo says a crime and we bear witness. The planet rebels, gives no forgiveness. Echo says a crime and we bear witness. The planet rebels, gives no forgiveness.
Can you hear nature cry? Can you hear nature cry? Can you hear nature cry? Can you hear nature cry?
Thank you very much. That's so awesome. I really love this music video. I listen to it like all the time. So yes. Before we are continuing our next session, I would like to take a moment for a break time. So we're going back here again at 3:05. So yes, 5 minutes break time. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you again after 5 minutes. So please don't go anywhere. Still a lot of people coming back here. We'll continue to the next session. Thank you very much for staying here with us. Yep. Still see, yes. Yes, just a little reminder that for you who still didn't get a chance to scan the barcode to help us to do the survey for the TED project, we are sharing the screen, but don't worry because we are also going to share the link again after this webinar. So for the next session, we'll continue with a little introduction about what we are doing in IVS and especially as CCIVS. CCIVS is abbreviation of the Coordinating Committee for International Voluntary Service, and I would like my colleague Coleta to please share the screen with us. Yep. I promise it's not gonna take a long time, just about 5 minutes, so you don't feel bored because it's a very long webinar. It's almost like 2 hours. Yes. Thank you. So next slide, please. Yeah, just a short introduction about us, about CCIVS. So I think that a lot of you already know about us, about CCIVS. A lot of people in our network call CCIVS as an umbrella organization, which also means as an international network organization that connects international voluntary service organizations around the world. So let's say that our members are basically based in different continents, in Asia Pacific, in Africa, in Americas, in Europe. So this is something that we have a lot of actually emails from a lot of people requesting to do voluntary service with us, but we are so sorry. Unfortunately, we do not do volunteer exchanges directly. So what you need to do is, next slide, please. Oh, before, oh, after this, yes. So what you are going to do is actually you need to contact an organization, IVS organization, based in your home country. Or if you cannot find it in your home country, you need to contact an organization in your neighboring country. And how? We already put the barcode here. You can also scan it. You can also find it in our CCIVS website. It's in the members and affiliated organizations. So everything related to your participation in the voluntary service abroad will be dealt with the organization, with the sending organization directly. So not with CCIVS. And it's the same everywhere. So that's how it works. And if you need more information about the projects, available projects, whether in your country or abroad, please contact that organization. But we can always help you. If you have more questions, please do not hesitate also to contact us in the secretariat at secretariat CCIVS at ccivs.org. But before we jump into the showcasing WordCamps, I would like to please the back slide, back to the second slide. I would like to share a little bit about our accomplishment. So these are actually the projects that we would say some already done and then some still going on. And those projects are related to our topic about sustainability, about climate justice, about ecological, environmental. And the first one is the Living Art campaign. You might be a bit confused about this one because we are also talking, actually, my colleagues from Liga Ambiente and Alliance, they're talking about the Living Art campaign also, integrating with the International Volunteer Year 2026. For now, this year, we are doing the social media campaign, but in the past, actually, we had this project, like we had a series of activities under this project, but officially this project already finished. But now we continue to do the advocacy work through the social media campaign and other formats of advocacy. And then the other projects, I'm not going to share more details because it will be shared by my colleague for the next session. So there is this Living Art Exchange, LiveX. It's still ongoing. My colleague Nicolas will present about this. So please ask him more about how to engage, how to contribute in this project. And Voices for Change, it's already presented by my colleagues Enoch and Dorcas. It's ongoing, still ongoing, and we'll have another, I think it will be like the last in-person activity under this Voices for Change It will be held in Italy, and it is already set up. And then the next one is React Now. It's still ongoing. It's also about engaging the young people and focusing on the climate justice. And next slide, please. Okay, so just to give you a glimpse of the work camps organized by our members. Again, not gonna show you all of the work camps, but just a sneak peek. Next slide, please. This is just an example. For example, FSL India. This is the nominating organization of Raksha. This is our member organization based in India. So here I put an example of their project. It's a work camp, hand in land work camp in Kundapura, India. They have these projects in the period month of June, July, August. And if you're curious more about this project and you want to join this project, please check the info sheet. We'll also share, don't worry, we'll also share this link with you. And for inquiries, you can also contact Mr. Ragland for more questions, or if you have any more questions. Next slide, please. Okay, SAFA. This is the organization in South Africa. So if you remember Enoch and Dorcas, this is their organization. This is one of their projects that's related to our topic. This is very interesting, by the way. This is the World Heritage Project in Tendele. I'm not sure if I pronounce it right, but it's very interesting. It's about nature conservation, education, and culture. And there are more projects that related to the climate justice and permaculture organized by SAFA in South Africa. And then the last one, please. Yes, it's a project Kosukorn Work Camp in Trang South, Thailand. It will be held in December. So it's organized by our member Dala in Thailand. And they also have other projects for sure. And actually, the next session, we are also giving the dedicated time for our members to share more about their projects. And I think it's done here, and I will just let my colleagues to share more projects. The first one is Bumi Horta. So Bumi Horta Foundation is an organization. It's our affiliated organizations, which is also a part of SCI, Service Civil International Organization. It's also a network organization. But for more information, please, Kak Sani, you may continue to explain. Thank you.
Thank you, Hani, for the time. Okay. Okay, hi everyone. This is Hani from Indonesia. I will give you some insight from the initiative that we have started in 2014. So exactly today, when we got invited by CCIVS, is actually also our anniversary day of our organization, which is in the same day of the Earth Day. We were started our very first project in 22nd of April in 2014 in seashore area in Semarang. We started to cooperate the local community to build their own food garden. So that's how our grassroots movement has started and then being developed till this day. So if you may see in this picture, you can see how the project is growing all across the island. And if you haven't been in this archipelago, Indonesia is very huge. From west to the east, it's you can imagine you fly from England all across to the Turkey. So how it picks the archipelago. So we are diverse community divided by the island and the sea. So the activity we have is in Java. We have 3 project sites that I'm going to share with you in the following slides, and also in Bali and Sulawesi Island. Next. As part of SGI, Service Civil International, we are a growing organization based in Semarang. We start, and then our grassroots movement is mainly on farming, sustainability, sustainable farming practices. So we're promoting through volunteer camps, and and also volunteering programs, and also other program that I'm going to show you after this. Next. The main issue that we're working on is the first is the food security. As we saw in the map we show you in the first slides, Indonesia is very huge, and we have variety of the natural landscape. I'm come from the in the wet land in Java, but we also can find like really dry land in the east of in the east of Indonesia. So the food security is the main issues that we are working very hard in every and the community and organization, as well as the government, also working really so hard to make this to be uh, created and secure. And the second is the waste management that we are focused on, and also involving youth more to be involved in these main issues also become one of our concern. Next. So just a short introduction that we are starting to mention uh, volunteers camp instead of work camp in SGI because of some consideration, including the legal form and also the word in the work camp itself, sometimes misunderstood by some communities or people. So we started mention volunteers camp as one of the program for those who want to contribute to our project in a short time, within 2 or 3 weeks. And we also open for long-term volunteering as well. And this is one of 2 program that applies to each project sites that we are cooperated with. Next. Due to the declining of the number of the volunteering that we face in the past few years, we are also opening the new initiative to that surprisingly contributing more than we are expected, that we have also chance for those who want to contribute as an intern that came from mostly from universities in Java, Bali, and Sulawesi. And we started our new platform we call temanberkebun.com as our sharing platform to share what the progress that we as a community has made for almost 12 years. Next. And we also have some beloved partners that we work really close. Most of them are young people and young community, youth community, like and also school and university. We have IAS, Diponegoro University, and also Youth Ranger Indonesia. Next. And this is some picture that I'm going to share you that we made for the past few weeks that we already done in Pekalongan in Central Java. This is main focus on this project is garbage management. It's located in seashore area where most damaged environment in Java, which is not located in north part of Java Island, where the industrialization is happening very much. So the waste management has become really huge problem, and the flood coming from the sea also become, and also mangrove deforestation also become the main issue. And we just been done working with the local university, which is the Diponegoro University, to make a waste management workshop to educate them how to manage their fish ovals processing to make organic fertilizer, and at the end they can use this fertilizer fertilizer to plant their crops, and then to make their own food garden. Next. And then this is our project in Bali. It's called Kintamani Eco Farming Project. We cooperate with the local school called Olas Asih, located in Gianyar. So we also supporting the local school, like on the picture you saw. We have educative game to gaining their environment awareness by casing the pro in English. Next. And in Semarang, as our main headquarter movement, we also have a Bumi Hota Learning Center and community hub for peri-urban permaculture project. As we are located in urban area, we break the stereotype that the permaculture is only happening in the rural area, but we also can realize it in the city, in the urban area, that that accessible for urban community as well. This is the picture that's showing the discussion we have the last 2 weeks ago with the youth and intern members. Next. And then this is very new volunteers we received from Italy. We make composting sites for farmer community. Is happening. It's happened like directly after Eid celebration in the end of Ramadan. So we have one volunteer from Italy, and we having so much good time with the farmers in Jogja. Next. And as I mentioned, I mentioned about the school called Olas Asih, also open for volunteers contribution to contribute as their language mentors in their school. So most of the children who living there, they having in this school are special kids with special needs. So they have regular activity that most of the volunteers are contributing, mostly in garden and the open space for their language workshops. Next. And this is our very brand new project that will be located in Southeast Sulawesi in Buton Island. So as I say that, maybe if you only heard Bali as the main actor of Indonesian image, it's not only Bali that actually we also have Bhutan, that where we also have beautiful views. That's a very unique culture, because this is the only place on this earth that using Hangul letter as their writing system for their local language. So if you heard Hangul, yes, is a Korean letter that used by Indonesian in this island to write with their writing system in Chia tribes. Next. So in order to contribute to the main issue that I mentioned in the very first presentation, we also do some regular work with the youth, like human library. We inviting people, it can be volunteers, it can be lecturers, it can be students that concerned with any kind of environment issues, mainly in sustainable farming practices, and also other environmental issues. And also we also donating some books with our collaborating schools we also have regular composting class with the student and also volunteers. Next. And we also have outreach to reach the community. It can be institution, it can be school, it can be other group that they have the same idea of saving the earth through these main issues that I mentioned. farming, and waste management, and also youth involvement. This picture on the left side is our very last workshop. Now we have regular meeting with the student. We create the small garden for this school. This is a free school for low income families located in Semarang. And in the middle is when we are having regular voluntary work that Hani also have been in these same activities last year. So we regularly monthly we have volunteers gathering to work in one of our assisted farms and community. And in the right picture, we also have regular seminars and also sharing sessions that we're also going to have it in this weekend in Semarang. Next. And we also have some assisted farm that we work on closely with our local partners and community and volunteers. We invited the guests to have farm activities, can be harvesting, gardening, and also making fertilizer, organic fertilizer, of course. And to invite more young people involving in our project, we also have regular training and seminars at least twice a year. We're going to have, as I mentioned, this weekend and also next month for the youth training. Next.
Sorry, Kat. Just a little reminder that actually time's up. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
So, okay. Maybe going to the last part, please. Okay. So if you want to reach us, you can check our emails on the screen. You can also reach us through the WhatsApp to the number that is mentioned in the screen, and also check our updates in our activity in our website. Thank you, and please apologize for taking longer than expected. Thank you. I will give the time to Hani.
Thank you very much, Kasani. So it's a wonderful project. You definitely should check it out, and we are definitely will share all of the links to the info sheet. So the next session will be from Fin Nepal. Inviting my colleague Richa to present initiatives and projects from Fin Nepal. Is Richa already here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Yes, please.
Okay. So, can I control the screen from here, or should I speak and then somebody controls it? I'm so sorry. I don't know how it quite works.
As you like, if you want to present, it's possible, but I can also go through the presentation as you can guide me.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. Julieta, or do you go by Jay?
Both are possible. It's okay.
Okay, perfect. So I would like to start. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for your time. I appreciate the opportunity to present our position and sorry. Let me start again. Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Earth Day. My name is Richa, and I'm representing Volunteers Initiative Nepal, also known as VIN. It is truly an honor to be part of this global conversation today. So, for me personally, Earth Day is not just a symbolic moment, it's also a reminder that environmental responsibility and human well being are deeply connected, and that the real change begins at the community level. So, as our organization, WIN has been working since 2005 to empower marginalized community in Nepal through inclusive and sustainable development, with strong focus on environment, agriculture, youth empowerment, livelihoods. So today I will share how our works connect on volunteering with climate resilience, and how simple and local solution can create a long-term impact. Next slide, please. Okay, so to understand our work, it is important to understand the context of Nepal. Nepal is still largely dependent on agriculture, with majority of rural households relying on farming for their livelihoods. However, climate change is increasingly affecting rainfall patterns, soil fertility, and food production. This directly impacts the food security, nutrition, and income. In many communities, environmental challenges are not separate issues, but they are also part of everyday life. For us at WIN, we think that climate justice means ensuring that the most vulnerable communities, especially in rural areas, are supported to adapt and thrive despite of these challenges. Next slide, please. Perfect. Our work is primarily based in Okhaldunga, a remote hill district where the impact of climate change are visible. So farmers here face multiple overlapping challenges such as water scarcity, soil erosion, declining productivity, and limited access to market. For example, many women in these communities used to spend several hours every day walking long distance just to collect water. This just not only affects their health, but also limits their time for education, childcare, and income generating activities. So, when we talk about climate change in this context, we are really talking about daily survival and dignity of the people. Next slide, please. At WIN, we address these challenges through integrated programs rather than isolated interventions. So some of our key initiative includes the Sustainable Livelihood Food Security Program, permaculture, organic farming training, water and sanitation projects, and youth-led environmental awareness programs. A major shift in our approach came after participating in permaculture training through CCIVS, actually. And this experience helped us redesign our work into more holistic household level model instead of like only focusing on one issue at a time. We began on connecting water, agriculture, behavior change, and long-term mentoring into one system. Next slide, please. So, our climate resilient household model follows a simple but powerful pathway. Water leads to soil improvement, soil leads to food production, food leads to income, and income leads to dignity. This approach reflects our belief that climate resilience must begin at the household level. When families have reliable water access, they can grow food. When they can grow food, they can improve their nutrition and reduce dependency. And when they generate income, they build long term resilience. This is how local action contributes to global environment goals, which is exactly what Earth Day stands for. Next slide, please. In practice, what we do is each household we support receives a complete package that combines infrastructure with knowledge and continuous support. So this means that it includes a rainwater harvesting system, grey water reuse system, safe drinking water solutions, and permaculture based kitchen gardens. For example, a household can collect rainwater, reuse the wastewater for irrigation, and grow vegetables throughout the year. This is not only a part where it improves food security, but also reduces dependency on external resources. What makes it more effective is that we do not stop at installation. We continue to support families through regular follow-ups and technical guidance as well. Next slide, please. Our work is highly practical and hands-on. So we train farmers through demonstration-based learning. showing them techniques such as composting, organic pest management, mulching. More importantly, we provide continuous mentoring across seasons. So, this is because real challenges arise after the training and when farmers have to apply their new practices in changing environmental condition, a support is a must need. So, by supporting them over time, we ensure that these practices are actually adopted and sustained. Next slide, please. So, a key part of our model is volunteering. At WIN, both local and international volunteer work alongside our staff and communities. So they provide support training sessions, assist in follow-ups, visit for the farmers, and help documentation process and learning. However, their role is not to replace the local system, but to strengthen them. For example, volunteers often co-facilitate the community sections or sessions for support awareness campaigns, creating a bridge between global knowledge and local practices. This also reflects true spirit of Earth Day, that is collective action and shared responsibility. Next slide, please. So far, we have successfully supported more than 140 households through this integrated model. These families are now able to grow more diverse and nutritious food, improve their living conditions, reduce their vulnerability to climate related risk. We also use monitoring systems to track the progress and identify for improvement, ensuring that the impact is both measurable and also that it is sustainable. Next slide. So, to make this more real, I would like to share the story of Sunita Karki. I hope you also feel it through via Zoom. So, one of our beneficiaries, and before our intervention, she had to wake up at 4 a.m. So, it's a normal living life of Nepali. So, she had to wake up at 4 a.m. every day to fetch water from distant sources. Today, her household has access to water, a functioning garden, and more stable daily life. She can grow fresh vegetables, her children can attend school regularly, and her workload has significantly reduced. On top of that, the permaculture garden has gone into a surplus that she can also sell those vegetables in the local market on like Saturday markets and the markets that they have created. This is what climate resilience looks like in practice, and it is about improving everyday life of people who are vulnerable. Next slide, please. So, this work has multiple environment and social benefits as well. It improves soil health through organic practices, enhances water management, and promotes sustainable food systems. At the same time, it strengthens community resilience and reduces the need for migration caused by environmental stress, let's say. This is what climate justice means to us and what we believe in, ensuring that those most affected by climate change have the tools to support, to adopt, and to thrive. Next slide, please. Looking ahead, our goal is to scale this model and to reach into 1,800 families across communities in Okaldunga. And this expansion will allow us to strengthen water security, increase food production, and create more sustainable livelihood opportunities. By scaling these household level systems, we aim to build like a wider ecosystem for resilience. So you can see the target geography on your left-hand side, and then what are our plans on our right-hand side. Next slide, please. So, to achieve this vision, we require continued support and investment. This includes funding for infrastructure, training programs, technical support, monitoring systems. Climate resilience is not just like one-time effort, but it requires like long-term commitment, partnership, and collaboration. And through networks like CCIVS, Alliance, NVDA, we have been getting more and more support to make these programs successful as we receive volunteers from our fellow partners. So I would also like to take a moment to thank you guys. Another slide, please. So on this Earth Day, I and we, on behalf of WIN, we invite you to be a part of this journey, whether through volunteering, through partnership, or supporting our initiatives on social media. Your contribution can help us expand this impact. So together we can ensure that the climate resilience reaches the communities that it needs the most. Last slide, please. So to conclude, at Volunteers Initiative Nepal, we believe that meaningful environmental change starts from the ground, from households, community, and collective action. When we invest in people, we invest in the planet. Thank you very much for your time and attention. It was great talking.
Thank you very much, Richard. That's a very comprehensive presentation of yours. And I'm really excited. Like, this is a very good project. It's very community based and working from the grassroots level, and it's very practical. So for you all here who are interested, now I'm even myself interested in looking at this like directly.
It's also a shout out to CCIVS because it would not have been possible without the training that we received from them. So actually, we were introduced to this concept by CCIVS and then we implemented to our community. So thank you. You guys are part of the beautiful change too.
Amazing. Thank you very much. So, yes, thank you for your time, for your presentation. Amazing work. And we're moving to the next session. It's the last presentation, but it's very also interesting. It will be about the Live X that I mentioned in the previous presentation. So I'm inviting my colleague Nicholas. Are you here with us right now?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so exciting. Can you please, I'm not sure if you are already with your camera
I am
on.
sharing. I am sharing for
Oh,
Cloud.
okay, okay. Thank you very much. So time is yours, Nicholas.
You're muted, Nicholas.
Oh, sorry. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I meant to say happy Earth Day. And as you can see on your screen, our planet is our responsibility. So it's really nice to be here with you. And I'm here on behalf of the project LiveX, which simply mean it's a living Earth exchange project. So maybe briefly, as we are at it, the project itself was born out of the Earth Advocacy Mentorship Project. Mentorship project, which is part of the Living Earth campaign of CCIVS as well. So this was more of like building on, like this project was building on the good work that has already been done previously by CCIVS partners and also ICYE, because the project, as you can see there, you see some members being part of the ICYE federation, but also CCIVS sort of like federation. So we are all members of either CCIVS or ICYE. So it's a voucher exchange project, and we get our funding from the Erasmus Plus, and we work with partners who are also implementing partners, most, if not all of them, being based in Sub-Sahara Africa. So we have partners in Kenya, Togo, Malawi, Zimbabwe. We have partners in Nigeria, Mozambique, South Africa, and Tanzania as well. Maybe next slide as we are at it. Yeah, so as I was saying, LiveX is a virtual exchange, and it means exchange and cooperation for a living Earth. We started way back in 2024, and it's now continuing. We're actually already past midway point. So we're looking at going for the, we are on the third cohort, and we have one more cohort coming up, but I'll talk more about it. Next slide, please. And if at any point you have questions related to individuals in the project, those are the people responsible part of the project, including myself as a project manager. And of course, we work close with Julieta, who manages and handles all communications. And then there is Katya, but like I think I want to talk more about the parts of the project and what we do. So next slide, please. Yeah, so as I was saying, the project was actually born out of the Earth Advocacy Mentorship Project, which is part of the Living Earth campaign, the live campaign that you all know about. And our main objective is on empowering youth, not just locally, but globally through digital and intercultural skills. And this happens because of like how we help and support and partners really supporting collaboration through virtual means. So there is a lot of like online meetups and stuff like that, which kind of brings everyone together, but virtually. So unlike your traditional exchanges that are focused and based on physical mobilities, the project brings that element of like virtual exchange. And as a result, there is a promotion of like skills which are tied to intercultural relations, as much as there is the digital skills improvement amongst young people part of the project. But then there's a lot of like leadership capacities being built, and they help the young people to tackle challenges, especially the climate related challenges. We see a lot of inspirations as well in terms of in different forms, including proactive thinking on sustainable solutions locally, and that can be scaled at a global level. So that's also very important. But we are also seeing a lot of sustainability because most of the projects, despite promoting equity, they're also addressing challenges that are like in our environment. So you see that sort of like creates a lot of sustainable impacts in different forms like livelihood or awareness and or like just being responsible on different levels from like grassroots level to like country levels or even influencing some policy changes and stuff like that. But most importantly, it's protection, especially in and around biodiversity, and as well as addressing systemic barriers, because as I said, we do a lot of advocacy as well for climate justice and a living earth. So the awareness brings to light a lot of systemic barriers, some of them tied to colonial legacies and the likes. And it's very nice to see how all these contribute generally to creating impacts that are sustainable, because leaving them aside takes something away from like the young people. So it's really nice to see when we have such awareness that influence systemic barriers our way. But there's a lot of collaborations happening through relationships that are built either through our mentorship program, where mentors who are youth leaders come together and talk about how do they support more young people to be able to come up with sustainable and environmental friendly solutions to challenges that we're facing, most of which are as a result of climate change and or pollution. There's also like a room to exchange ideas and best practices. We have also actually created tools and we have published them on best practices for climate resilience or for earth advocacy. And these are all exciting to see that they sort of like bring people together to actually collaborate, because now they have like a shared knowledge and understanding on what to do or what steps to take. And this in general helps us, again, as I said, helps in sort of like making the initiatives more sustainable and more measurable, because the impact can be realized and can be seen. And yeah, we don't operate in a village, so this obviously, again, ultimately strengthen the global network that is made of like youth-led climate advocacy and actions. And we also usually take time and moment to highlight projects that are innovative, so participants feel more recognized. And these projects, for the most part, they've been like very low cost, so it's like global concepts and solutions inspired by like a global perspective, but really localized. And that helps as well in our work when we do advocacy to influence policy changes, or when we're simply just addressing challenges we're seeing as they happen in our daily life. Next slide, please. But like, so that's in a nutshell what we're trying to address in the project. Yeah, next slide, please. Hello? Is everyone there? Oh,
Hi.
yeah. So
Yeah,
this is,
I'm changing them, but you see it.
okay, thank you. Yeah, anyways, I wanted to also just show you how that happens. So there's like a number of examples to what our local actions looks like, part of the project. For instance, in Kenya, there's there have been like in the previous cohorts and the current cohort, we have projects that involve around collection of plastic waste, and then they repurpose these to construct a greenhouse. And I don't know if you can clearly see the pictures, but those are examples of like some a greenhouse constructed out of like water bottles, which is pretty much a challenge in the region as well, East African region. You have a lot of like companies producing things, mass producing things like water, juice, and all this in form of plastic, and usually collection or um, collecting them back to repurpose, or it just end up in like as trash in our coastlines or in our environment. So things like this really sort of like repurpose those bottles that would have rather been discarded. In Nigeria, for instance, as a result of some trainings and awareness, young people are using plants for branding. So this is when, maybe you go to a party and then plants are there to like actually improve the ambience and the look and everything, and like it looks nice. So it's a good way of branding. It's a creative way of using plants as opposed to say plastic flowers or plastic plants for branding, or in weddings and other social gatherings that would rather need ornaments and things like that. In Zimbabwe, for instance, there's also restoration programs that are being done hand in hand with schools. Like in Mutambara High School, they're doing a lot of tree plantings in areas that trees were rather cut in the previous years or periods. And that's really nice to see because it's also young people doing it. Next, please, because then I can highlight more examples from other countries. Um, in South Africa, in Soshanguve, there is a lot of awareness campaign being done in and around waste management. And it was really nice to see Enoch and Dorcas here, because they're also part of the project. They're one of our implementing partners in South Africa, and they lead these projects, even co-create with young people, and really support them through the mentorship program that is happening across countries. In Togo, for instance, there is also a reforestation campaign where they're targeting to plant about 1,500 trees. So that's also like, 1,500 trees. And that's the goal they've set themselves up. And they started with nurseries, and that would move on to like actually planting these trees. And for instance, for partners in Europe, like in the office, ICYE office, you see our colleagues are cycling more than like they're taking buses and trains. And these are the topics and discussions we have. In parts, like our colleague Julieta is in Budapest, for instance, they're also seeing and like a lot of like activities in and around gardening or promoting hands-on climate actions, sustainable living, and like ecological practices and things like that. Next slide, please. So that's what it looks like on the ground. But we, as much as we are present on the ground as a project, we are hosting a Power Pact online dialogues where youth voices like take a center stage. And this is through dialogues where we explore how climate change, for instance, interlinks with concepts like culture or gender equality and equity, or how its relationship to access to clean water and sanitation or nutrition. And this is where things like community gardens, actions around community gardens and initiatives around that comes in, or youth empowerment, natural disasters that we can't control. Like for instance, we're hearing recent times there have been heavy rains in Malawi, probably floods as well. And we take time to discuss these online through our online dialogues, alongside other social issues, to show the intersection with that and how it interlinks with climate change or other related topics. So it really highlights why climate justice might also or must also mean equitable access to not just life, but like also basic needs as well. And we discuss, and in our discussions, we bring together perspectives on resilient or sustainability, like how can we also be fair, because protect our environment, our planet, it also means protecting the people. So if there is no equitable or there is no fairness while doing so, it doesn't really sit well and it doesn't make much of a change. So that's in perspective how youth also participate online and how we facilitate that participation. Next slide, please. So for those of you who have so far been maybe I've caught an interest in joining or be part of the project, as the door is still open. We've done like 3 rounds of virtual exchanges. We call them virtual exchanges because of like the online and virtual element of it. So we have done it 3 times where we recruit young people. They get mentorship on earth advocacy, and we train the mentors, and then they get support throughout to not just participate, but to also like bring their ideas into life and all that. And that's what an exchange cycle means. So the time is still there. And we have, I've shared links there to where you can find some resources, but you can join through our local partners as well in countries. For instance, in South Africa here, we have Savoie. They are our partners in South Africa. So they would be of an help if you're in South Africa. If you're in other countries that I showed, like in Nigeria, we have ISWA in Nigeria. In Kenya, we also have ISWA in Kenya. In Togo, we have Astovot. So they're like our local partners there, and they would really, really help you. But another way of participating, if you can move to a couple more slides forward, if you go to these and maybe Julieta can help me put the links to the resource hub there as well. If you go to those ones, you'd also be able to access contacts of our partners, most importantly, materials. So one of the tools we created to support this journey for young people was a handbook on earth advocacy, and it helps young people through a number of like it has different models in the toolkit. You'd find different models on things like essential ecosystem understanding for people who have no understanding at all, and all the way to like how you can fundraise for initiatives that would then mean bringing solution to the challenges you're facing in your communities. and even practical planning and actions in practice within the tools. And there are like two types. One of them is for mentors. So these would be workers or people who are already exposed in the sector. And then another one is just generally for youth. So it guides someone who is coming across these concepts and ideas, but they're as passionate to save the planet, but they're facing these things and challenges and they don't know what to do for the first time. So one of them guides and one of them also helps in the journey of like being an earth advocacy. Forward, please. So that's what it looks like. And these are some of the resources. And one of the other resources we produced was like a good practice map, which would work best for organizations that now work with young people. So you can see how you can also use the same model as LiveX, where you bring an element of virtual exchanges to complement the physical mobility exchanges you already have for organization, and it's really important. I meant to also present a few more other things, but I think for the interest of time and not to confuse everyone, this would be the presentation today. If there's any question, I'm more than happy to attend them. So if I have any time at all and someone maybe has a question, I would be happy to respond.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very
If
much,
not, back to you,
Nicholas.
Heidi. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. I think that we can open for maximum 2 questions for like the whole presentations that's already presented for today's webinar. So if there's any, yes, I see. I see there is a question. I think somebody, SCI, oh, Kola. Kola, you raise your hand, please. You have question?
Yeah, I did, Honey. Yeah, I did, Honey. Thank you, everybody, for this presentation. I'm quite excited and very good to be part of it. And it seems that the network is not idle, and our branches also are very, very active in doing what is normal. Thank you so much for all this workload for everyone. I love the presentation of Nicholas and also the Sunny and the lady from our EC from where is it now? Where's she now? The third lady that made presentation. Yeah, from Vinepa. Yeah, my question is very simple because I quite understand that today is Earth Day and we need to congratulate ourselves that we are also living to see the Earth and also to see some of these activities coming up. In terms of the food production from Sunny and Vinepa, I really don't know because most of the things of today we talk about climate change everywhere, where many activities and things are going on. But the perspective is that we engage the young people, we engage the youth and the community. For this good effort that we run through, apart from advocacy, what is the position of individual government? Because I know there are stakeholders that are also want to pull up, somebody want to pull down, and with the kind of also indiscriminate attitude of the government towards NGO. Vinepa and Sunny in Indonesia, do you have any of these kind of experiences or where you have a lockdown that you couldn't even move at all? And what did you do when that also came up? That is good to know. For Nicholas on the Live X, very fantastic efforts within the ICE, but I want to also create indulgence of the tools and everything that's already produced, including the good practice map, will also be shared within the individual CCIVS mail so that we can also leverage on that rather than go to, because some of our countries have network problem exploring some of these resources in the archive. So this will help for us to do a local actions continuously so that we begin to engage the young people, the students in the campus and all these tertiary institutions to ensure that the project does not stop. Thank you so much, Annie.
Thank you very much. Is there any response maybe from, okay, Kasani, you want to respond? Oh, Nicholas first. Okay, Nicholas, yes.
Yeah, I can go ahead. Yeah, that's a really good question. Also, I think beyond the funding that we have to implement, for instance, LiveX as a project, one of the things we were looking at is be able to so that we are able to sustain beyond that funding period. And this is where the question of tools came in as well. What can we leave behind for, say, organizations? What can we leave behind for leaders within our communities to be able to continuously support and fund, support the mentorships, especially for young people who are curious and they want to bring about change. So yes, the tools are there. They've been produced, and good amount of work has been put into them. We worked with expertise. There's a lot of references to actions that are happening locally. There are a lot of experiences there that can be learned and maybe multiplied in other settings if localized. And there are a lot of videos and everything. So we do a lot of documentation. And part of the project was for us to have like a store that is virtual and online for everyone to access. So maybe to respond is that these resources are available online on our resource hub. I think it can be shared as, again, I shared on the presentation, but they're available, they're free for you, and you can download them in different formats. You can download them also in PDF formats. We made sure to produce different formats also because Africa, for instance, if you take it, it's very diverse. You have young people who are from Francophone countries. So we also have these resources in French. We have these resources in English. We have these resources in Swahili. We have these resources in Portuguese as well. And they're there for each one of us from within the network and outside the network to tap into these resources and use them to amplify the good work that they're already doing. I think I will stop there so that my colleagues are also able to respond to other questions from Kola, but that's briefly what I would say my response is for now. Thank you. Back to you, Annie.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. Yes, Kasani.
Yeah, thank you, Kola, for the question. So what we can give the probably inspiration to attract and also to share the best practices that we've been done that we can give, it's mostly the stories that we are published through our platform in temanbikapun.com. So in our websites, we usually share the article, also the tools that we use, the training that we've been done, and also not forgetting that we also need to collaborate with the current funded program. Mainly we have in Indonesia is with university. So in each university they put their credit for certain activity, especially voluntary activity. So we need to take the change. I would say to collaborate and elaborate with the institutions. So by the pilot project that we started in 2018, cooperating with some local university, we hopefully can duplicate the model to other kind of collaboration. And yeah, we expected to give more books or manuals that we can share. But I think for sure CCIVS through this movement will give more information on how we do step by step to reaching more young people to be involved in our movement. So yeah, you can check in our platform, Kola, and we have English translation as well in each publication we made in our platform. It's so happy to see you, Kola, here. Really miss you, Kola.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm part of you all together. You see, my question still border on the government perspective. You know, what you plant is what you eat. And from the
Yeah.
perspective of various governments, there are legislations, there are some authority rules, there are some things that even there are some control on whatever you consume or whatever you put into the market. So this gave me a kind of worry that is the government sensitive with what Indonesia, I say, or VNEPA, VNEPA, to the that very massive work with all these things. Do they supply you fertilizer? Do they supply chemical? Do you use chemical for this agro work? And what about the consumption? And what is the perspective of the government? Or because we are NGO, we are not under them. But again, sometimes our activities are subject to control. So how do you mitigate this? This is just my work.
I would yeah, maybe short edit maybe for the last statement from Kola. All we can do is we should try and never stop to try to enforce as NGOs, and also don't forget to put the value in every single activity that we made, and the value can make the people stay, and they also could develop more innovative way of initiative that we made for our local partners. Yeah, maybe Other can add something.
Okay, thank you very much, Kak Sunny. I think that Richa from Finn already signed out, and we can probably move to the next question, the last question. I see Justin Somi raising your hand. Do you have any question? It's going to be the last question.
Yes, I do.
Hi.
It's a
Yes.
privilege and first time to attend such a meeting. I just want to congratulate CCIVS for inviting me. When I saw the invitation, I was interested. Now, following what, despite I joined late, a lady from Nepal did a good presentation, and I would say kudos to her and the project they are running in Nepal. But also, it's not a story, it's something that is visible and we're able to see and see how implementation is moving. That's what we need. And coming to Nicholas, I have seen your network and your partners that are collaborating with your organization. Zambia is left out. I don't know if we are not existing in Zambia. So probably since I've attended this meeting, we'll be able to be known that we exist in Zambia. My question to you is, doing a lot of youth empowerment, a lot of mentorship, do you have a member organization that are ready to offer this course called, or just programs in youth work for people who are mentoring young people to see to it that they are following ethics of youth work? Because I'm saying so because in Zambia, I belong to one organization that does that, and they do master classes once in a while on youth work only, because many people claim to work with young people, yet they are using young people. So this is what I wanted to find out from you, if you have a partner like that who can come in and spice the good work you are doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think I'll just jump in to briefly also respond to that. It's actually a really good question. So to start with, I think we don't have any partner with the current funding in Zambia. However, I think we've had projects that have even gone to Zambia to our partner in Zimbabwe. Because part of the mentorship program, usually we do like calls for actions and activities, and then people see it online and they contact some of our mentors. And the good thing is most of our materials and resources are online. So even the mentors, you have their profile, their contacts and everything online. And like if young people in countries like Zimbabwe or Zambia, they're more likely to contact someone Like in Zambia, I would say they will be more likely to coach someone in Zimbabwe or through like a country that they can relate to as much. And that has happened. We have engaged even beyond Zimbabwe, for instance, in the Southern Africa. We have had even projects in Lesotho, young people applying. Of course, it's a fairly new project. It's not like we had funding before when we started in 2024. But if funding be there, I mean, yes, why not engaging young people in Zambia? It's just sometimes in our line of work, we have a lot of like limitations to whom we can facilitate, especially in terms of funding, within our networks. So that's one, but that's not to say young people in Zambia cannot be part of the project. They can, and they can also access the resources. Organizations in Zambia can tap into what we have produced so far and use it to empower more young people, including mobilizing for funding as well. But in terms of members offering calls on ethics, especially coming to work with young people, what I can say is part of the curriculums, for instance, we have, which is a handbook for youth mentors. We have topics on, and these topics touch on ethical considerations, especially when working with communities in terms of like what's acceptable, what's not. Like it really gives a guidance, and those guidance have considerations to ethics when working with young people and what things to do and what things not to do. But specifically focusing on the topic, no, the handbook itself doesn't have a topic that is saying ethics, but there was ethical considerations in terms of like how the models are channeled and the models are being delivered and to young people. But that's a really good input, I think, because we are also learning. This is a feedback I'm taking, and I might actually get in touch with you maybe with the current cohort and the next cohort. We might have one of the dialogues or topics or some training with our current cohort members on the same, if that's an opportunity you're open to offer as well, because it's quite an interesting angle when working and dealing with young people. So that's something I will get in touch to actually see how we can do that. Otherwise, yeah, I would like to also welcome you all to the next dialogue, which happens on the 28th this month as well. We have one of our routine dialogues that we do, and there'll be a lot of young people, and we do talk about things like that. So that would be interesting to also see young people's views, workers' views, because they also tend to invite other stakeholders like organizations and things like that. So this is going to be interesting, but I would definitely reach out to see and explore that opportunity of the partners that you're in touch with, Justin, on the topic of ethics. Back to you, Hani or Justin. I hope that responds to your question.
Okay, thank you so much, Nicholas. Is that already answer your question, Justin?
Yes, the question has been answered. So
Okay, thank you.
I'm grateful that you will get in touch with us in Zambia.
Okay, thank you very much. So thank you very much once again for all of the questions, comments, and appreciation. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. We would love to continue the conversation, but it's already past like 2 hours. So as we come to the end of this webinar, let's carry forward the spirit of solidarity and the Earth Day. So Earth Day is not only just one day celebration and that's it, but I hope that everybody here, all of us can continue to pour our energy and our commitment to stand in solidarity and for our planet and for one another. And we hope today's exchange has inspired you to take action, no matter how big it is, small, start small, it's okay. And within your own communities also. So thank you very much, and special thanks for the speakers for sharing very insightful presentation. And we are going to send out to you all of the materials, all of the links. So don't worry. you will get anything that you expect. And
Thank you,
yes,
honey.
let's keep in touch. Thank you very much. Happy Earth Day. And I'm Honey. I'm signing out. Thank you
Happy
very
Earth
much.
Thank
Day.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, honey.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you. See you in the
Well
next
done.
Hey,
See
dialogue.
Dorcas.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.